Hello everyone and welcome back to TowerGate. It is TowerGate day number 995. 995. It is Monday, December the 23rd, 2019. Thank you so much for tuning in. Okay, before I get started on today's video, a lot of really great information today. And of course, we'll announce the winner, the Dumbass of the Week. But before I get into that, just want to let you know that the next 2 days, Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, will not be doing TowerGate videos for two really good reasons. Number one, there's not going to be very much going on regarding Spygate or anything else. Most reporters and politicians and everyone else, even Mr. Durham, probably home with the family for Christmas. So probably not going to be a lot of news breaking over the next 2 days. So it's going to be pretty dead anyway. Plus I have family events to attend and things. And also just for, the fact that maybe we need to take just about 2 days off and just kind of relax and cool our jets a little bit. And we've been going after it here pretty hard for quite a long time. So probably we all need a couple day break. But certainly day after Christmas, the 26th, we'll be back with the next TowerGate video, and we'll ramp things back up again then. So anyway, there you go. Don't look for a TowerGate video on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. Okay, so at this point, the president has not yet been impeached. And in 2 weeks, Madam Botox is going to have to decide if she is going to send over the articles. If not, well, then she's left holding a political hand grenade. If she does, it's going to be a complete embarrassment. So, in other words, regardless of which way she chooses to go, it's going to be an epic fail. If she withholds the articles, it's just going to look horrible. I mean, how do you do that? You have the impeachment vote in the House, you pass the vote, and then you don't move to send it over to the Senate for a trial? How is she going to explain that? There is no explanation for it. Other than the case is so weak, she doesn't want to be embarrassed. So you don't want to do that. But if she does go ahead and send the articles over, she has no control over how the Senate handles those hearings. It's very likely going to be what it was during the Clinton impeachment. You'll have both sides make an argument. Both sides will request witnesses. Neither of them will get enough votes to get their witnesses, so there won't be any witnesses, and they'll just go ahead and hold a vote. And if you get 51 votes, it's over, and that's likely what's going to happen. So it'll be over, and that will be equally embarrassing. In other words, the entire thing turned out to be an epic fail and a huge embarrassment for Madam Botox and the demo commies. But it's actually much worse than that, because in that time period during the impeachment, Trump has gained 6 points in the polls. We've just had recent polls, 4 of them come out in the last couple of weeks, showing Trump's approval rating with minorities now over 30%. And of course, Madam Botox was forced to give up 2 serious wedge issues that she was hoping to use as leverage against the president. She had to throw them in just to get the demo commies to stick with her on the impeachment vote. So she had to give up the USMCA vote. She can't use that as leverage anymore. She had to give in to the funding for the border wall that was in the defense budget. She certainly wanted to fight him on that. And also, something else has to be noted is Trump, it's actually invigorated Trump's base. His fundraising in those 2 days, the day before and the day that she announced the impeachment vote, Trump raised more money in those 2 days than he had in the last 30 days. His 2 biggest fundraising days of the year occurred the day before and the day of Pelosi announcing the impeachment vote. Not only that, we had Trump on the very night that she announced the vote. He goes to a rally where he has a gigantic crowd, people waiting for hours and hours out in sub-freezing temperatures, knowing good and well many of them would not even get in. He has a great rally, some say one of his best rallies ever, very raucous event, really great rally. I had a great time watching that one. He was in rare form that night. And at the same time that that's happening, the Democrats are having their most recent debate where they registered their lowest viewership ever. They had 500,000 less views than they had on their previous debate, which wasn't watched by very many people. I think their total was like 6 million. So the Demo-Commies debate got 6 million viewers. That's it. 6 million. Compared to Trump, people watching the Trump rally on TV got 24 million. Trump got 4 times as many people watching him at his rally that night than the Democrats did for their debate, despite the fact that that was the very day that Pelosi announced the vote, which passed to impeach Trump. You talk about epic fail, and I don't think that's the end of it. There's much, much more fallout to come, because it also is likely going to cost the Democrats the House, because of those 31 members who voted for impeachment, probably at least half, if not more than half, are going to lose their seats. That will cost the Democrats the House and will cost Pelosi her gavel, if she's still holding that gavel by November. I'm not sure she survives this. Once the break is over and they come back from Christmas break and she makes a decision on what she's going to do, and I think she has to turn those articles over to the Senate. I can't imagine she would not. But either way, it's going to be politically disastrous, and I see nothing but turbulence and trouble ahead for the Democrats. And at this point, even if Pelosi remains in her position as Speaker, she's been extremely weakened, and Trump has won big. So that's what you would call an epic fail, and an epic win for Trump and all of us. What is John Durham looking at? What is John Durham looking at? As I've talked about before, Durham can look at this in 2 ways in terms of prosecuting the criminal conspirators. He can either go for just charging people with the individual crimes that they committed, which is one way you could go, or he can go all in for the grand criminal conspiracy, which is tougher to prove, and it's more difficult because you get into a grand conspiracy, it gets very complex. Jurors have a hard time processing so much information. So it's a very big challenge to go for the complete conspiracy. But I think that that's exactly where Durham is going to have to go. Although it's possible he might forego that and just go ahead and charge everyone with the individual crimes, violations of the U.S. Code. We won't know until probably late spring, early summer. Although I don't think we have to wait quite that long for the indictments to come down. I think indictments could start coming down at any time. But that's basically the 2 ways I think that Durham is looking at this. Is he going to go for trying to prove the grand conspiracy, or will he just take the surefire way and just go for the individual violations of U.S. Code? But if he is looking at the grand conspiracy, or even if he's just looking at the U.S. Code, we will be talking about Article 18 U.S.C. 2384. Article 18 U.S.C. 2384. That is the article which covers sedition. Sedition. There are 3 different ways, I should say, or 3 different definitions of what would constitute sedition. And it would be the second of the 3 that he would likely be focusing on here in his investigation. And that says that to oppose by force the authority of the U.S. government to delay or hinder the execution of any law of the United States. Again, this is 18 U.S.C. 2384.2 of 3. To oppose by force the authority of the U.S. government to delay or hinder the execution of any law of the United States. So this certainly seems to define what we are looking at, because they certainly were trying to delay or hinder the president from being able to execute the laws of his office by weakening him or destroying him or forcing him from office. Now, the tricky word in all of this is, the phrase, I should say, is to oppose by force. To oppose by force. Now, that will require some constitutional lawyers to dig into that to determine, were they talking about physical force, like bringing an army against the president, or could it be another type of force, using the legal system, using the law as a weapon, as an army, which is what they're doing through the lawfare group, meaning the demo commies. The demo commies are using the lawfare group, and the lawfare group, and they call themselves lawfare for a reason, because instead of warfare, they do lawfare. So they are, in fact, using the law as a means of force. And so I believe that John Durham could certainly make the argument under 18 U.S.C. 2384 for sedition that they were trying to oppose by force the authority of the U.S. government to delay or hinder the execution of any law of the U.S. So I think there's definitely a case to be made, and I would not be surprised at all to see Durham, if he goes for conspiracy, I think this is the USC, the code that he would be looking at, 18 USC 2384, sedition. Well, Giuliani has secured the under oath testimony of 3 Ukraine officials who have gone under oath to state that Ukraine did interfere in the 2016 election against Donald Trump. This would include the Ukrainian embassy official, Andrei Telesenko, and he is, of course, the guy, the point man, that Alexandra Chalupa went to in early 2016 to ask him to help her get dirt on Paul Manafort. Giuliani wants to bring these 3 individuals over to the United States so that they can testify in front of the U.S. Senate. And Lindsey Graham and Ron Johnson have suggested that they would be open to that after the impeachment is put to rest, assuming it even makes it to the Senate. Catherine Herridge is reporting that it was Andy McCabe who gave the directive to the FBI to include all the information from the Steele dossier into the Intel assessment, that being the ICA. And he says that this was per a directive from Obama, who knew it all. So this, I think, is sort of the grand get-out-of-jail strategy, get-out-of-jail card strategy for a lot of these deep state players. They know if the heat gets really turned up on them, that they can always say, hey, we were just following the directive from the president, which is apparently true, because there's plenty of evidence that we've seen that the president was certainly not only aware of all these things going on, but was in some way, shape, or form, he was in some way directing it, managing it, overseeing it, which makes him, which compromises him, essentially. And it would back up a lot of these deep state heads of these agencies at the FBI and the DOJ when they say that they were just following the president's directives. Now, the issue here with McCabe is that the question that he will be asked is, okay, Obama directed you to put all the Steele stuff in the ICA, but did you tell the president at the time that he told you to do that you had already determined that the entire thing was bullshit? Or did you lead the president to believe it was true? Because at the time that Andy McCabe followed this directive, he knew that the dossier and the Steele information had already been proven to be bullshit. And this is ultimately a question Obama is going to have to answer. And ultimately, one of 2 things is going to happen. And obviously, I think, again, as a last-ditch effort to save themselves, the deep state players are simply going to say, hey, we're following the directive of the President of the United States. At which point, the question is going to go to Obama, to these guys. Well, did you tell him at the time that the stuff that you were briefing him on was bullshit, or were you telling him it was the truth? And then they're going to go to Obama and say, did they ever tell you that stuff that they were telling you was bullshit, or did they tell you it was the truth? And of course, Obama is going to say, oh, well, No, they never told me that they had any question at all, that they were totally 100% that the information they were giving me was solid. That's what he's going to say. So he's going to throw these people under the bus. Obama's not going to take the fall for Andy McCabe and Peter's been stroking us. I can assure you of that. He's almost untouchable. I don't care what he knows. I don't care what the evidence shows. There are so many people around the president, every single one of them will fall on the sword to save him and his legacy. And many of them will have to do that. They'll be called on to do that, and they will. Lindsey Graham is telling Maria Bartiromo that he will call into the Senate every person who signed off on the Carter Page FISAs. That would include Comey, who signed off on 3 of them, McCabe, Silly Sally Yates, and Rod Rodenstein. Judicial Watch is suing Adam Schiff for leaking the phone records. Let's see, we have Howie Carr writing a very good article making the same case I made about a week ago, that Kevin Kleinsmith will rat out all the FBI coup plotters. Yes, he will. He's facing somewhere over a dozen at least at this point, and they're going to go back and review other FISAs or other warrants that he signed off on to see if there's any more. But at this point, he's probably committed, at least what we know now, somewhere in the range of about a dozen felonies. Each of them carries a 5-year prison term. He's looking at the rest of his life in jail. Kleinsmith will definitely sing like a bird and rat out everyone. And he knew everything. Is he going to sit there and tell Durham that he did all of this on his own? I don't think so. I think he's going to tell Durham that at the very least, his superiors knew what he was doing, and that he was motivated to do so because he got caught up in the momentum of the moment, and the momentum of the moment was, hey, do everything you can to get Trump. That's probably exactly what's going to happen. I said it over a week ago. Howie Carr's writing about it now. Yes, Kevin Kleinsmith is going to sing like a bird, and he knows pretty much everything. A new Rasmussen poll showing that Trump's support with non-white voters at 45%. If that turns out to be true, and the results in 2020, that pans out, that 45% of non-whites vote for Trump in 2020, that is effectively the end of the Democratic Party. They're done. They cannot win elections if they're giving up 45% of the minority vote. They already voluntarily gave up the white middle-class blue-collar vote to get the minority vote. And it looks like they're going to lose both in the process. It's over for that political party if those numbers pan out. And how do we know that Madame Botox has failed bigly and miserably? Well, the last thing she did before she left town to go back to California for Christmas is she sent Trump the letter inviting him to give the State of the Union address at the House on February 4th. The fact that Pelosi is inviting him to give the State of the Union on February 4th means she's conceding that he is not going to be removed from office, and assuming she sends over the articles of impeachment, the impeachment trial is going to go very quickly and go down very quickly. Margo Cleveland, a very good article in the Federalist, still digging through that IG report and finding plenty there. And I'm hearing this from a lot of people I heard Jeff Carlson say this, that he's read through it 3 or 4 times, and every time he reads through it, he finds another gem. So here's Margo Cleveland. She's probably read through it a dozen times if I know her. So she's got 2 more things that she brings out in her article. One would be that Comey told the IG that he had no knowledge of Bruce Orr's conversations with the Crossfire Hurricane team and only found out about it when the media reported on it. Problem: James Baker, his FBI lawyer, general counsel, is contradicting Comey, saying that Comey attended a meeting headed up by Peter's been stroking us on November the 23rd of 2016, where the topic of Bruce Orr was thoroughly discussed. And there are, of course, documents of the meeting verifying Baker's statement and contradicting Comey's. Comey has told so many lies he's probably, in addition to everything else, he's facing, goodness knows, dozens and dozens of counts of perjury. Not to mention all the other things. He's going to jail for probably the rest of his life. Comey also said that he did not know about Carter Page until the middle of 2016. That's a lie. Says he didn't know about Carter Page until the middle of 2016. Lie. The IG found internal communications that show in April 2016, the New York field office prepared summaries of the Carter Page investigation that they opened on April 6th of 2016. The summaries included a special summary provided to the headquarters, which included the director's notes and a separate director's briefing that occurred on April 27th, 2016. That's another lie. Comey received regular briefings from the Crossfire Hurricane team, and there are documents to support that. Comey is a pathological liar, and he's going to federal prison, likely for the rest of his life. Now, Dumbass of the Week. Never before has anyone garnered so many first, second, and third place votes. Many people offering all three first, second, and third place votes to Madam Botox, who won in such overwhelming fashion this week that I've never seen such an overwhelming victory for Dumbass of the Week. No one's ever won this big before. It's not even close. Let's go through the vote tally. Linda Davis, Pelosi, I think, is who she wanted to pick as her main Dumbass of the Week, although she has a fantastic post in the comment section. If you haven't looked at Linda Davis's comment, please do. She put some time into it, and it's very well done. Brilliant. And I could probably have extracted several Dumbasses of the Week out of that, but I was a little crunched for time. But I did read through it. It is an excellent comment, so I'm going to put Linda down for Pelosi. IPA is going to go with Alyssa Slotkin. Yeah, she's that Democrat, former CIA operative who voted for impeachment, and now we know why the CIA is so screwed up. Gidget is going to go with Madam Botox. Dennis Shaw, Madam Botox. Hey is going to go with Raphael. You're wondering who the hell is Raphael? You'll have to read Hey's comments to understand what he's talking about. Mrs. Miggins is going to go with the Democrat congressional delegation. That's the Democrats in House who voted for the impeachment. And the star of that team being Talib. Kimmy is going to go with Madam Botox for first, second, and third choice. I think she's pretty sure about her vote this week. Youngblood is going to go with Jake Tapper. Jenny Tweets is going to go with Pelosi galore. Pelosi galore. And her second pick is Lawrence Tribe. Yeah, he's the one that who conspired all of this and was basically pushing the Dems to take the track they took, and now he looks like an asshole and a dumbass, but none bigger than Madam Botox, or as Jenny calls her, Pelosi galore. Pelosi galore. Oregon is going to go with Madam Botox. Sisler TX is going to go with Madam Botox. Although he didn't actually write her name, he just basically said there's no words needed to tell you. You already know. You're right, I do. You wanted Botox. Cards is going to go with anyone from the Demo Commie Party. Yeah, that's covering the whole gamut there, and that would probably include Madam Botox. Dennis Waddell, Madam Botox. Giovanni Angelo. Adam Schiff, the bug-eyed fool, gets a vote. Freddie Sheffer is going to go with Pelosi and the founders for making the speaker the third in line to become president. Yeah, I can kind of understand that in a way. Of course, the founders could never have contemplated someone like Madam Botox being speaker. I don't think they ever thought that could happen. Let's see. Peter James is going to go with Madam Botox. the Bug-Eyed Fool, and Loose Lisa Page. Gene Alley is going to go with Pelosi, the Bug-Eyed Fool, and Jeff the Flake. Oh, that's right. You thought Jeff the Flake was gone? No, he's not. He's still chiming in. Not that anybody gives a flying shit what this guy has to say. He's still out there running his trap. Lori Holtz is going to go with Pelosi. Douglas is going to go with Geraldo Rivera. Judge Collier and Martha McCollum. And he cites very good reasons for all of those. Don the Traitor, Madam Botox. Ricky Ricardo, Madam Botox. Sue Sung, Madam Botox. Stage Door Johnny, Pooplosi and the Mournful Dummy Rats. Pooplosi and the Mournful Dummy Rats. Well done, Stage Door Johnny. J.C. Hasty is going to go with Piglosi, Comey, and Loose Lisa Page. Jamie is going to go with Madam Botox. Susan Lowell, Madam Botox, and Chuck the Cuck Schumer. Joe Mack is going to go with Pelosi, right along with Jonathan, who again wants Pelosi for first, second, and third choice. Walker on the Hill is going to go with Madam Botox. Jeanette is going to go with Madam Botox, Chuck the Cuck, and Judge Collier. Gordon is going to go with Pelosi. Deep State Soup Sandwich is going to go with Madam Botox. Mike G is going to go with Pelosi and the 230 Thieves. Oh, yes. Mike feeling good over there in the UK right now. Looking good for Brexit, my friend. Well done. Gregory is going to go with Nancy and Nancy, the runaway bride, Pelosi. Linda Martin, Pelosi. Snowfeet, Pelosi. Sherman Lynn, Madam Botox. Peaches McBee is going to go with Madam Botox. Fid Campbell is going to go with Mr. Potato Head, John Brennan. Yeah, his day is coming, boy. Whew, goodness gracious, he's in a world of trouble. Janet Conroy is going to go with Madam Botox. Joey D is going to go with Madam Botox, the House Dims, and the Christian Times Magazine. Yeah, what's up with that? First of all, I don't think Christian Times Magazine, I've never heard of them. Maybe the guy's trying to get a little attention for himself, but it's probably not going to be attention he's going to enjoy, because I would assume that about 90 to 95% of Christians are going to vote for Trump. What's the option here, sir? Madam Botox and the demo commies who support post-birth abortion? Is that the alternative that you're suggesting? You need a re-evaluation, whoever you are, who heads up Christian Times Magazine. Sir, you need a checkup from the neck up. Stephen Moore is going to... He threw a dart. Stephen Moore threw a dart and it landed on Valerie Jarrett. Yes, Valerie Jarrett's going to have her day in the sun. Yeah, the hot sun. It's called a hot heat lamp that Durham's going to have in her face. Because she knows a lot of things as well. She's running the command center for the coup. Did you know that? Well, you do now. Zero Tolerance is going to go with Madam Botox. And of course, again, overwhelming victory. Madam Botox is easily, far and away, the dumbass of the week. The bug-eyed fool, Adam Schiff, managed to squeeze out a few votes and become the second place finisher. And of course, the demo commies as a party would finish up in third place, a distant third place, but at least ways they're on the board. There you go. How about that? So, because I'm not doing TowerGate videos for the next 2 days, I highly recommend you check out the interview with Dan Bongino with Devin Nunes. It's about an hour-long interview. That's a very good interview. Of course, Papagalopoulos has now done his second podcast. It looks like it's going to be a regular podcast on Fridays. The last two were on Friday, so it looks like it's going to be kind of a once-a-week podcast. And it looks like, I assume he's going to do it on Fridays, so we'll be tuning into that. But his second podcast, he focused a lot on Arvinder Sambe and her relationship to Uncle Bob the Executioner, Bruce and Nellie Orr. And of course, she's the one who told him to go meet Mifsud. And so he focuses a lot on Mifsud. Of course, we know from Papadopoulos' tweets earlier in the week, he does not believe that Mifsud is dead. I do not believe that Mifsud is dead. That's just being reported by a couple of Italian media agencies, but I don't know these Italian papers. I don't know how legit they are. I'm not familiar with the Italian press. We do refer to them from time to time, but no one really knows whether or not they're really legitimate or whatever. I mean, I'm sure they have fake news in Italy as well. And again, I'm sure their intelligence agencies probably pump a lot of propaganda and disinformation, misinformation into their papers as well. Certainly in Italy. Let's face it, probably a pretty corrupt place. So you definitely want to check out, I think, the Papadopoulos podcast. Check out Bongino, and of course, always have a lot of good interviews on American thought leaders. That's a podcast that I do watch pretty regularly. And of course, Jeff Carlson was just on with American thought leaders, and that was a really good interview because, of course, we have referred so much to Jeff Carlson and looked at his work throughout this entire Spygate fiasco that we've undergone for the past close to 3 years. Jeff Carlson has got to be one of my top 2 or 3 sources. Originally, he was just writing for himself at the marketworks.com. And then about, I don't know, maybe a little less than a year ago, he got picked up by the Epic Times. And so he's been, but you can generally find, you can read 5 articles at Epic Times without getting a subscription during a month-long period of time. But if you're going to look at more than 5 articles a month, you have to pay a fee. But you can see Carlson's articles all get posted up onto his own site, which is themarketswork.com. So that's primarily the place where I go to follow Jeff Carlson, but I do look at Epic Times as well. Declassified is a pretty good video to watch. Typically, it's just, Gina reading stories written by people on the Epoch Times. She does a lot of Brian Cates stuff and Jeff Carlson stuff and others. But that's something good to watch. And of course, if you're really bored and got a lot of time in your hands, you're going to need it. And if you're new to my channel and haven't looked at the timeline, click on that link for the TowerGate timeline. It's right there in the description box, towergatetimeline.blogspot.com. There's no ads running there. There's nothing to obstruct your viewing. You're not constantly clicking off stuff. I have no ads running there at all. It's just a simple blog page. It's the entire timeline, which is, if you can't go back and watch, close to 1,000 TowerGate videos, go look at the TowerGate timeline, because everything that's in my TowerGate videos, these are particularly just the facts, most of it sourced, where I got the information, and it lays out the entire Spygate plot, going all the way back to the beginning, which was 2007, and I update that pretty much daily. So if you haven't read through my TowerGate timeline, now the last time I read through it took me about 4 hours, and that was about several months ago. It's gotten longer since then, so it take you either a hell of a long day of reading, probably take 8 hours to read through it, but you could break it up into a week and maybe read it all. But anyway, if you haven't seen it, check out my TowerGate timeline. You guys have a Merry Christmas, and thank you so much for tuning in. Take care. Bye.